Welcome to the Social Podcast, where no discussion or debate is off limits.
You know, we just popped the balloon on a Monday and Gorgeous exploded.
Yeah.
Look at yourselves. Okay, welcome to the Social. Happy Monday, everybody. Why don't we get this show started with the pomp and circumstance going down in Ottawa? Yes. Have you been keeping up on this? King Charles and Queen Camilla, they are literally about to land in Ottawa, Ontario, to take part in 2 days of official duties. The King will be delivering the throne speech tomorrow. So we're going to kick off this convo with, is this the right move in light of Trump's annexation threats? Is this the right move? Is this the right move?
Well, some people feel like it is. Some people feel like the idea that Trump, or rather before Trump, the whole issue and the annexation talk and the tariffs, that everyone was kind of ambivalent about the monarchy. But now people who were ambivalent before, or even people who were anti-monarchists, are like, yes, this is what we have now. We have this attachment. Look at us. We have this attachment to this historical institution. This is who we are, and it really sort of delineates us from the American political system to our constitutional monarchy. But then, did you guys hear what the ambassador to Canada, the U.S. ambassador to Canada said?
Uh-oh, what?
He said in an interview this week, and he's like, oh, no one's even talking about that anymore, about the annexation. Trump's dropped it weeks ago. No one's talking about it. The only one that's talking about it is Canada. Kind of made us sound pathetic, like we're holding on to this. Do you know what I mean?
What's his name again? What's his name again?
That's really good. But it did get me thinking, are we holding on to this?
It's a really interesting
Like, are we
question.
holding on to this trauma?
Well, I definitely was not letting it go for a long time. So it's understandable. He's unpredictable. I think we can't let it go until eventually there's been enough time and distance that he hasn't mentioned it again. But I think you're right. This is a flex of some kind. CNN actually called this a highly symbolic whistle stop trip, which is different from a highly symbolic like dog whistle trip. I think that would be a different meaning. Although I do think there is a dog whistle here, and Trump is probably like kind of like just not really understanding why he's a little upset.
Yeah.
I think this is saying like, look, we have this is friendship. Like I think that Mark Carney's trying to say like this is what loyalty looks like. And I think this is going to be a really interesting move and a delicate dance that Charles has to play, because he also can't be coming in and being like, look, like he can't say, not that he would, but he can't say anything really inflammatory, because you have to remember the UK Prime Minister is doing a dance with Trump as well, and he wants to help out with Ukraine. So you can't ruffle feathers too much. So this is an interesting thing to watch.
Yeah, you guys know, if you've been watching the show for the 12 seasons, girl has had an evolution on her feelings about the monarchy. I went from being a staunchly pro-monarchist person, because I truly believe in the transcendent power that monarchy has. And funny enough, we're kind of circling back there again. I fell out of love with the monarchy, as a lot of Canadians did, when we were reckoning with the historic treatment of Indigenous peoples in this country, to be quite frank. And I started to really wrestle with this idea that can you still be this beacon of hope when you're not doing your part in reconciliation? And I'll be honest, I was wrestling with that for a long time. I was supposed to be in Ottawa this week, but I'm right here with all of y'all, which is exactly where I want to be. And that's because of this wrestling. I think the timing is so interesting. The monarchy is supposed to be above politics, and this is so political.
Yeah.
I'm salivating over this. I
Yeah.
love this.
No, yeah, listen, I have complicated feelings about this. And I'm just curious, I want to check the temperature in the room. How do you guys feel about King Charles coming to Canada? Okay, I'd say the majority are happy about. Listen, for the past couple years, thanks to the Netflix series The Crown, I was so into everything royal.
Yeah.
The drama between Diana and Camilla and Charles and Camilla and Queen and her sister, I was eating it up. I loved it. And then I had a really strong conversation with one of my family members who's from the Caribbean, born and raised, and they have a very different perspective on the royals and how they impacted the Caribbean. And that kind of squashed all of that kind of conversation for me. But then at the same time, when the royals come to do anything, any kind of gathering, nobody does pomp and ceremony like the royals. And I don't care what anybody says, whether you love them or hate them, there's something about that man on a uniform click-clocking with the horse and the trumpet sounding as they arrive that I still really like, and I'm still going to...
It's living history.
I'm still going to watch. It's like going to grandma's house. Is grandma a little, like, on PC, right? Is she a little racist and she doesn't like the LGBT? Yes! Yes! But there's something about our house that I just kind of like. It's comfortable.
Comforting. Yeah.
It's comforting. So it's this very complicated relationship that I have that I going to watch? Yes. And at the same time, as we were all talking about the fact that our relationship with our longtime allies in the U.S. has disintegrated, now I'm looking at our allies very differently. And I'm like, yes, come, Charles, come, have a seat. What do you need? Because we feel like we're on the same team and we all have a common enemy. And what do they say? My enemy's enemy is my friend. I feel like we're all kind of having that same feeling.
I love how you
that.
say it feels like grandma, because I saw this, and if you look at our cards, the story name is called Daddy's Home.
That's a different vibe from Grandma's house.
I don't think he's
love your
daddy.
vibe. Yeah.
Okay. I can look at him. Daddy Charles? Absolutely. To me, not sexually. Get your heads out of the gutter.
We're all in that same place.
I'm not sexual. This is not sexual. I mean the idea, okay, fine. Big brother Charles. Is that better?
Yes. Uncle Charles.
You are all, Papa. You know
Grandpa
what?
Charles.
Uncle Charles.
Grandpa
Uncle
Charles.
Charles.
Uncle Charlie.
Right.
Sounds
Charlie.
lovely.
Papa.
No.
Yeah.
Guys, okay, we're
Get
gonna
it
stay
up, yeah.
tuned to this. We will watch it and maybe we will revisit tomorrow. But we're gonna move on to this. The Cannes Film Festival wrapped up over the weekend, and so we want to talk about our standout look from the French Riviera. I'm gonna start, guys, okay? Because I think the thing is if you're gonna go to a festival like Cannes, you want to be remembered, right? You want to stand out, especially if you're not necessarily there because of a movie. And so that's exactly what happened with model Mitchell Akat Maruko Ran. Look at this outfit.
What is that?
It features a full leopard head. Yes, you are seeing that correctly. I just
my
would say that this
gosh.
is challenging fashion boundaries. So this is a design, Mel, you will appreciate this, by Filipino designer Harvey Sinit, who wrote on his Instagram that she embodied fierce glamour and feline grace, blending strength and sensuality in a stunning tribute to the wild. This is a designer that is actually extremely well known in the Middle East and is sort of just breaking into different parts of the world now. And he's known for also the sort of playful, humorous, and very feminist kinds of outfits that he does. He dressed her once before when she came on the red carpet last year. She wore this Medusa. It was called The Wrath of Medusa. And so every time she kind of breaks the internet with what she shows up on a red carpet, and I think this is a standout moment in a sea of sort of classic suits and gowns.
Right.
She made her
Oh my
mark.
God, Harvey,
choice.
call me.
There we go.
Call me.
Great choice.
Amazing.
That's absolutely
Great
great.
choice.
Wow.
And her face, those cheekbones.
Yeah.
Well, for my choice, I'd like to go back to Daddy's. Specifically, Daddy Alexander Skarsgård. Skarsgård, rather. He is looking really, really good, head to toe Saint Laurent. But let's go back to those toes for a second. And he is actually literally playing a biker daddy in a BDSM movie at Cannes, and I think he's sort of channeling that.
Really, it looks
his
like he's about to
fictional
go
character.
clam digging or
Well,
something.
see, I think I
was gonna say
I
riding
sort of
a
see them
horse.
as like
Yeah.
kinky, or like a nod to kinky boots.
Yes.
Maybe a kinky boot.
okay.
But I personally see more Puss in Boots. And
Yeah, that is very Puss in Boots.
but you know what? Meow, mama like. Daddy.
Yeah, it's giving something. But yeah, okay, we're just gonna move on. All right, so I chose another gentleman who I think is making, every time I see him on the red carpet, he impresses me more. I'm talking about actor Jeremy Strong from Succession. This man is not afraid. You know, the men typically show up in like a black suit. Jeremy's like, I'm not doing that. He didn't have his signature bucket hat on, but this is a custom-made Lanvin suit. Now, when you think powder blue suit, you don't think something stylish, but for me, he just really looked fantastic. And every time I see him now, he's catching my attention. I see you, Jeremy. I like what
Men
you're
are
doing.
really starting to turn up.
I like it when the men turn up. Not so much in the boots.
Yep.
But I do like that.
Yeah. There was a lot of firsts and wows on the red carpet. There was the first ever haute couture house to do their version of a sari, and that was on actress Aaliyah Bhatt wearing custom Gucci sari.
Wow.
This just
beautiful.
blew me away. I mean, I need this in my life.
Now, this is interesting.
This is interesting.
In light of also their anti-naked dress rule
Yeah.
that
Yes.
was introduced this
But
year.
that's clearly lined. It's clearly lined. It's a first. If you look, that's actually embroidered with the double G's. That's thousands of Swarovski crystals. So they've got the double G's linked. It's the first ever. It was custom designed. Aaliyah Bhatt is an award-winning Hindi artist. She's huge in Bollywood. She has won so many awards. And now she's taking, again, you have these moments where you're like, I'm sorry, everyone in the world should know her. I didn't know her before this, but now I do, and I want to know more. Because this outfit is, Gucci just does no wrong in my eyes for fashion. This is when you cross the boundary, and I was reading what Indian media was saying about her, and they're like, this is a cultural moment for Indian fashion. I thought, beautiful.
Good stuff.
Absolutely stunning.
If you thought that this was Kim Kardashian, you'd be forgiven because it is 69-year-old Kris Jenner, her mom. Her new look is strikingly similar to her daughter's. While the momager hasn't confirmed anything, People magazine is reporting that she had aesthetic enhancements done by a New York City plastic surgeon. So is this exciting or is this extreme, audience? Extreme. Okay, what do you guys think?
Ooh, listen, I am so excited for her. No one can deny that she looks fantastic. Like, she looks fantastic. And you know, when I look at our culture, women can't win. You know, if you don't do anything, people are gonna talk about you. If you do something, people are gonna talk about you. Which at the end of the day, then do what you want. Because someone's gonna always have an opinion. But also, when you look at the line or the menu of options, you know, one Kris Jenner's facelift is another woman's yoga practice or collagen smoothie. What's the line? We all do things to anti-age. I dye my roots. I work out. Some people get knee replacements. We're all aging. How you choose to age should be nobody's business, in my opinion. And the reason why I'm excited about this is, you know, to me, you should be able to age your way. And I think for me, it is about not vanity, but it is in fact about agency. And I think that she can't win. And she's also created one of the largest, most successful entertainment empires on the planet. So if this makes her look good and feel good, who the heck am I to judge her? She looks fabulous. Sign me up! Sign me up.
Tell me how you feel, Jess Allen.
Well, first, she does look amazing. She does look amazing.
She looks good. She looks good.
But I don't know why it makes me feel so scared, I guess, like that aging is something to fear and to be avoided at all costs. And then that scaredness turns into anger because I'm gonna be honest, I'm never gonna do that. Not because I'm above it. No, don't clap. It's because I'm too cheap. I'm too cheap to do it. I'm too cheap and I'm too lazy. So I'm never gonna do this. And so why I get angry is this could very well be the norm. And so I'm, in 20 years, gonna look like the odd, weird person out.
No.
Because I'm gonna look my age. And then I have questions because who is winning here? Are we really showing the patriarchy? Yeah, we got you now. Are we really showing our young girls like you can grow up to be very strong and powerful, but you won't look like you grew up because you're gonna look like a little itty baby?
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm so angry.
Don't be angry because I don't think you're going to be by yourself because I think what we're not thinking about is Kris Jenner's circle. I think the circle of people you hang with will affect the decisions that you make. Remember, she's in Calabasas, baby. She's in a famous family. All of her family members, everybody she knows has had something done. If you've been to Los Angeles, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody's got the face. So I don't think you're going to be in your regular life running around people who are like getting their faces changed that much.
At the checkout
we live
counter.
in a normal world where everybody looks the same. Maybe they're getting a little injection here or there, but not like a full
there is that
facelift.
trickle-down effect. There is that trickle-down effect.
Sure, it's a trickle, but is it going to be a full facelift? I don't know. But I'll say this much. I'm going to blame the person who's responsible for this, and that is Miss Lindsay Lohan. Because Lindsay showed up a few months ago with a brand new face, and the internet went wild. They're like, what did she do? They were hunting down the procedure she had done. They were hunting down the doctor that she used. And now all of a sudden, everybody's popping up with the same type of facelift. So this is the Lindsay effect. But I will also say this much. If you're thinking about doing any kind of procedure, wait. Because what I gather from this is, you know, the plastic surgery industry is always evolving and getting new techniques. The facelift of the 1990s, you don't want that face. Nobody wants that face. That face was not a good face. But the face of today with the new technology, and they know where to pull and what to tuck and what. Now it's like, oh, so if you're gonna get it, just wait. Let them perfect it, and then go get that. Because Kris
Could
looks
be better.
good.
She looks good.
She looks good.
I'm sorry, you haven't spoken yet. But
good.
I just thought of a genuine question for you because we love each other so much. Oh my God, we
Yes,
love each
we
other,
love each other
so much. But my question is, you brought up a thing like, you know, we do things to slow down aging, like getting a knee replaced. That comparison, I just thought about it. But getting a knee fixed when you're getting older is helping with your mobility and your health. Truly genuine question. What does that do? What does the face do?
I don't think it has to do anything. I don't think anything has to be for any reason other than your own personal satisfaction and enjoyment.
That's a good answer.
If you're not hurting anybody, and I'll be honest, I would celebrate someone who chooses to do nothing as much as I celebrate somebody who wants to
you
do
might
everything.
do that, but I will say that there is something that we do this. I'm counting myself. We often will celebrate women who like look amazing when we don't know, again, to your point, the hundreds of thousands of dollars that went into that. And let's be honest, that's not accessible for 90% of the population. So I just wonder if there's going to be these two extremes where there's people walking around with amazing faces as they get older who are like, you know, like certain wealth level, and then everybody else is like, it becomes then a conversation about rich and poor.
Absolutely.
As opposed to even beauty
but
or
I just
like
think,
youth.
yes, but I will never tell anybody how to spend their money on anything. And I think, to me, when I just sort of look, I don't know why people think and expect that women owe the culture natural aging. I don't owe the culture anything.
They don't. I will say, though, there is a trickle-down effect because I'm wrestling with all this. I think so many people are because we're all on social media and we see all these little tweaks and twacks and whatever it is.
It's good word.
Whatever.
Well, even one of them twats.
A twack. But
Twat.
Jason, my other half, he gets really upset because he's worried about who are you hanging around with, what kind of influence is having your circle, and he said this to me the other day. He's like, he pulled up a picture of Demi Moore, who is beautiful, who's wonderful, who's had acknowledged the work that she's had done, and he's like, I don't think this looks right. He said, I honestly don't think. What I do think is beautiful is this picture of, and he said Audrey Hepburn, and I think we have the picture here, and I reacted to this.
She does look beautiful.
She does look beautiful, but we don't. She's younger than Kris Kardashian is right now. And she died.
That's a great photo to bring up.
Died at 62 years of age.
Wow.
And I just can't help but think, like, we have shifted our perspective on what we think someone beautiful should look like as they're aging.
I actually think she looks beautiful. And I wouldn't say she doesn't. I really do.
I know.
I really do.
I do too, but I think that that's rare now when we uphold women, especially who are in the public eye. Increasingly, there's an expectation that she will have work done. If she can afford it, she will have that done. And I just think, what is this about? Like, there's going to be the people who age gracefully and the people who age honestly. Like, I do think that
I don't know. But, okay, hold on.
system.
Not to get too deep into this.
No,
but
let's
we're
do
in it.
it.
We're in it.
Let's dive in.
I love this.
But isn't what women have been fighting for since the beginning of time choice? And isn't part of choice even supporting women who don't make choices that you would make? I think that there's one thing to look at Kris, and I think we can objectively say she looks great, but I also think she looked great before. But I also think it's not me to tell her what to do with her body. Part of women's lib is bodily autonomy. So she looks great, and she did what she wanted to do.
And I agree. I totally agree with you. I love that we live in a time that if you don't like something, you can fix it, and no one should judge you for it. And we also live in a time if you want to grow gracefully and you're that beautiful, go for it.
I would just like to say, are we deluding ourselves, though, with this idea that we're choosing this? Yeah, hear me out. Like, you're saying, like, I have the choice. I have the choice. I'm making this decision.
Sure.
But you're not talking about, what, hundreds of years of history of being told how to look and beauty, fashion,
I'm going to tell you
things
something.
and so on.
If Kris
I think it's a deluded. It's a deluded
I get
choice.
what you're saying. I know what they're telling us in our ear. We have to shut up, okay? But I do want to say, not that I'm trying to have last word. I also think that there's something to be said. If she feels confident in how she looks and she wakes up with confidence, and if that facelift got her there or whatever reportedly was done, who am I to say you're not allowed to be confident? Who am I to say that?
But if all
Listen,
women
our producers are going to lose their
just refuse to do
We're getting
this
the rap.
if all women if all women just refuse to do this also, then that would also send a different message to these
I'll
places
refuse to do it.
who
Fine. I'll
who
be
are
tribute. I'll
making
refuse
all
to do
kinds
it.
of money.
I don't have
from
the
us. Anyway, that's
I'll
all.
refuse to do it.
You know, today on the show, we've been having very important conversations. Here's another one. Bad Bunny in his tighty whities. Very important.
Yep.
Well, the rapper slipped this thirst trap into a recent photo dump on Instagram. Okay, so what do we think of men posting thirst traps? But for our lovely lady in the audience, what is a thirst trap? Anybody want to explain?
A thirst trap is a photo that you take and you know that people are gonna double tap on it because you're looking real good because you're half naked and you got your bits and pieces out. That's a thirst trap. You did it on,
I'm
you know
gonna trap you. You think a close-up? No.
No,
it's
no,
even
no.
more than that. No, not a close-up.
Not a close-up.
First,
a sexy picture that you know that people are gonna
trying
see
to
very
lure them
sexy.
in.
trying to
Get
lure
it?
them in.
Trap them.
They're
Right?
thirsty. You're gonna trap them in with your junk. Okay?
Yes.
That's what you're gonna do.
Now that we've established a definition, I think there is a fine line between hot and ick. And hear me out. It depends for me. It depends on the age, the job, and the marital status of the person posting the picture. Bad Bunny is a 31-year-old single international pop star. Click away. We are gonna double tap on that tighty whitey. Now, if he's Benny Ocasio from the accounting department at 31 posting that picture, it's it. It's like, what are you doing, Benny? No one wants to see that. We're gonna see you in the hallway. What are you doing? Put your clothes on. It's weird. It's very weird. But if it was connected, if Benny in accounting was connected to like something he does, that maybe he's a fitness trainer in his time off, then it'd be different. I don't know if you guys have been watching this guy named Ashton Hall. Have you seen these videos? There's this guy who's thirst trapping, but he is a collegiate athlete who's turned into a fitness influencer.
I need a photo.
Here we go.
You had me at horse.
Right? Exactly, girl. It's a horse, all right. See, now that is not as ick because he is a trainer and he's showing you his muscles so you can understand
job to be a
how
thirst
he works.
trap, though.
Yes, it's
This
about
is
his
literal job.
His regimen that we're very focused on. So that's for me
Andrea,
the
I'm
difference.
still stuck on horse.
Well, we're all stuck on the horse, baby.
God. I love how you really broke it down. You really thought about this and like what, yeah. That's incredible. I don't mind a thirst trap so much, but you know what? I like them when they're kind of accidental. Not like when it's their job, but it's like someone posts a photo, let's say, and they just happen to be saving like someone's life or, you know, helping an older person across the street.
In their underwear?
And they don't have any clothes on. And you're like, oh my God, you're so nice. I like this photo.
That's a thirst trap, baby.
You've done some accidental thirst traps of Simon.
All the time.
Like you do. I feel like I've seen Simon in his underwear.
I thought you were gonna say I do accidental.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Every photo I take is an accidental thirst trap. And like, look at me, I'm so goofy.
Oh God. I have conflicted feelings about this as well. Like I definitely zoomed in. Like I want to see it all in this particular one. But I also find it like I want to know. Like it's a bit desperado. Like it's a little bit look at me. What is behind? If it was my partner who decided to do this, I'd have questions. Like all of a sudden I'd be like, what is going on and what? And I don't specify this in terms of gender. Like I think it's the same for women too. Like
Why do you need all this external validation?
What if I told you? Okay, so what if Jason's like, Cynthia, I'm gonna post a thirst trap of me in my Calvin Klein undies, but it's attached to an $8 million contract, which is what Bad Bunny has with Calvin Klein.
Well, there's the reasoning now. Okay.
Wait, he could have taken those underwear, put them on his bed, taken a photo of them. He didn't have to put them on. He didn't have to put them on.
I'm just saying that if my husband came home and said, honey, I'm gonna post a thirst trap and it's worth $8 million, I'd be like, give me the camera, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Listen, for $8 million, we'll all take off our clothes and put on.
So, ma'am, that
Hopefully
is the
someone's
thirst
getting
trap.
that.
Are you happy? Yes, that is the thirst trap. Well, we are a show of many things here today.
Subscribe to the Social Podcast so you don't miss a fiery debate. Until next time, socialites.